So, Coach, last dance this weekend. I mean, what's the message to these guys as the season comes to a close? It's obviously been a challenging one, but what's the message look like?
I mean, it kind of is what it is at this point, and it's a last opportunity for us to play together. I mean, even if there were no changes, it's really the portal and all that stuff. You just never know if you're going to get the same team, the same room, dynamics and all that change. And so it's really, I think. For us, it's just been enjoy the moment while we're in it, and whatever's coming is coming, ready or not, and we'll just roll from there.
And the challenges of facing a team twice in one regular season, obviously a rare thing. What have you identified with your group, just trying to prepare in that way?
Yeah, it's you see NFL teams kind of. Saving nuances and just play calls and just schemes and all that stuff. And I think for both of us, we're really you don't really change what you do, right? You do what you do, but you're trying to just maybe keep something in your pocket just to sprinkle it in the next time that you play. But you're just trying to be sound. And a lot of times in the NFL, you really see teams that play each other almost go 1-on-1 against each other. It's one of those things where. We've got to make sure that our guys are motivated and ready to play and just sound also when we go out there.
Tristan Tia is somebody that people were really excited about after the Tulsa game. He had a nice stretch, at the end of the game. What were your thoughts watching that and getting a chance to see him develop over the year?
Yeah, it's we see him every day, just on the scout team, and it's fun to see you guys go out there and get an opportunity to perform. Obviously we thought that standing on the sideline, and it was nice to see him produce and get things rolling. But it's really just excited and happy to see that he was able to do it, and I think it just shows that he projects. He continue on that projection that he'll be a player.
Is there a player in your group that you would look at that you would say has made the most progress from where they were when you got to fall camp to now?
Talking about with the D linemen?
Yeah.
The interior D tackles? I think just for that specific question, JoJo really sticks out in my mind. I mean, he's done a really good job. The other guys, they've kind of either been on par or just kind of doing things that we thought that they were going to be doing. And some good things, but JoJo's done a really good job just throughout the year. And then we've got a young guy, Jalen Hill, that he's redshirting this year, but he's played a couple snaps for us and has got in, and he projects to do pretty good too. He's a good body, he's smart, he's willing, he's got good hips, and so I think he'll be a good guy for us as well in the future.
What do you think JoJo has improved specifically? What's gotten better?
The D-line play, it's, you're wrestling, you know what I mean? And so when you're in it and everything's just right in your face, everything happens so fast, right? Like your reaction to schemes as far as just double team, this guy come in, it's just bullets flying all over the place when you're a young guy. When you start to see it a little bit more for what it is, and that comes with experience, like a backfield set, tight end set, just the demeanor of the O-line. Some of that stuff starts to slow it down, and you play with a little bit more anticipation to the type of schemes that you're getting. You can play a little bit more with confidence, and I think that's the thing that's kind of changed for him is just the game slowing down and seeing the game a little bit better.
Taking a look at the Washington State film from last game, what was one area you thought your group did really well at, and what's one area you feel like they might need to improve ahead of this next game?
I talked to the D-line this morning just about one of the keys for us is to make sure that we got to keep the quarterback bottled up, and that was one thing from the last game. The quarterback's ability to scramble and passes, we've got to make sure that we keep them bottled up, and that will hurt us on defense. And so that'll be a big thing for us that we got to make sure that we do better this next time around.
You guys have been pretty found on the interior D-line over the past month or so. How have you kind of seen those younger guys step up and, just a lot more snaps amongst just a smaller group of guys? Yeah,
so some guys are getting more snaps just because of injuries, and we've had to lean on other guys just with rotation and all that stuff. But, they've done a good job, when they get the opportunity. it's been good. You know, sometimes but really last year we had so many young guys playing, and it showed up in a not so good way sometimes. But some of the young guys that we've asked to step up and take snaps this year, they've shown better than we did last year. So it's a good projection for the future as far as just the group, I think.
Obviously, you know, your last game of the season here, I'm sure this is a tumultuous time to be a coach, you know, with all that's going on. What's kind of next for you?
Shoot, for me, I don't know. And I think all of us are kind of like that right now. It's you'd hope you have a chance to interview and stay. You know, obviously I love this place and I enjoy it. I enjoy the players, but you know, with the way things happen, it's head coach comes in and has his guys, and you know, if there's a spot on his staff that you can hopefully, you know, stay, then that would be great. But you know, I really don't not that I'm not worried, but I don't really get anxious about the future that way. For me, it's I trust in God. I believe that even if it's a bad, you know, because sometimes you look at a firing and it's like, okay, this is a bad thing happening. One of the things that Coach Bray said a lot, and I believe in, is that things aren't happening to you; they're happening for you. You know, look at just my, and I'm kind of answering a long question, but I'm answering the question in a long way. But when I was at BYU, right, and I basically left/fired. I left there in a great situation. I'd been there for 7 years, and Coach Galani Sitaka and I are really close. Like, you know, and that's a whole nother story. But I left there, and I ended up coming here where I got the job just from talking with Coach Hayward. I didn't know Coach Bray, you know what I mean? And so what happened to me was I didn't know that I had a daughter that was going through a lot in high school. And it was because I was a coordinator at BYU, and I was under a lot of fire from her teachers and, you know, peers, and she stopped going to school. She just basically dropped out, and I didn't know that was happening. I knew, and she found out later that it was even towards the like suicidal thoughts. You know what I mean? And some of that stuff you don't really think about when you're just kind of, you look at a coach and it's like, all right, get rid of this one, get another one. And for me, it was like, she dropped out of school. We came here, and she found the love for school. She wanted to go back in school, graduate, and she's doing well. And so, like, I look at what my family needed at the time. I mean, my wife has a familial heart disease. We were to come here. Long story short, ran into a doctor who suggested we go to a Stanford doctor, and she had open heart surgery in January, and now she's doing better. You know what I mean? And so it's like, there's a lot of things that happened to me when I left BYU, and when I look back at it now, I do believe it wasn't happening to me; it was happening for me, and I fully trust and believe that whatever the future holds, not one flinch from us. Like, we believe that we will be where God wants us to be for the people that we need to be interacting with, and that we'll be able to service and help their lives however we can. But in return, I think that I'm being blessed as well, whatever happens, you know. So come what may, you know, but we're enjoying this week for what it is. So.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay.
Last one. How's it feel?
It's a bittersweet moment, but I mean, it feels great, you know, just blessed, you know, just to still be here healthy and having another chance to go out there and compete with my brothers. So it feels great.
You obviously got the back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons at Tulsa. You know, what's that really mean to you?
You know, it means a lot, you know, it's accomplishment and things like that. Definitely big shout out to, you know, the guys who helped me get to that landmark or those numbers, like the O-line, receivers, tight ends, coaches as well, you know, just coming up with a great game plan and enamoring us with it, like Coach Pig does a great job. And I guess it's really, you know, prepared and to go out there and you know, put it all together. So.
Obviously, next step for you is wanting to make the jump to the NFL. Like, what do you want those teams to know about you as a player in person?
You know, that I'm gonna be the same person. You know, through all the ups and downs. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna get there, work, and you're gonna you're gonna get a dog. I mean, I know people use that word so loosely nowadays, but yeah, you're gonna get a dog, and I'm ready to work. I don't care where I go. I just want the opportunity. But first thing first, most importantly, we got one more game left, and just right now trying to dominate that task at hand, and everything else will fall into place. So.
And that young guy that just stepped up here,
Yeah.
I mean, how cool was it to see him perform and then, get this kind of shine?
Nah, yeah, it felt really good. I'm very excited for his future, man, and just seeing how he just been staying down, and just come here, don't complain, just come and do his job. Makes everybody smile on their face. He's a big quiet guy, but he got some jokes if you get up close on him and he'll tell you himself. But yeah, man, I'm very excited. Just to see what he go out there. What was that last game? He was out there. He looked very poised, like he'd been there before or something. So yeah, very excited for Tia, man, and just to go out there and just show the world what he can do. So.
You've obviously been seeing him all year, and you've heard him be humble about it. Was he chopping up the defense on scout?
Yeah, that guy got an arm. He got some arm. Yeah, he has an arm, for sure.
This year has probably challenged your leadership ability, and maybe think that you wouldn't have wanted it to be challenged coming into the year, but it became what it became.
Yeah.
What's this year been like for you as one of the voices in the locker room, one of the team captains, through what's been a difficult stretch?
It's been very difficult. However, I do feel like I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason, and I feel like I was put into this circumstance to lead with the record we have and things like that. I feel like it put a big emphasis on it with me, and there's been times where I had to learn from the way I talk to guys, or the way I things like that, which is great, because you gotta be the same person you are, whether we down 50, whether we up 60. So I feel like it's been very, very, very good for me to go through this as we this circumstance or whatever. So it's been very good. So
Heading into your last game here, do you have a favorite memory as a Beaver?
yeah. My favorite memory is definitely, it's kind of crazy, but when we kicked that game-winning touchdown, game-winning field goal versus Washington State last year, that was the best feeling. Yeah, now we get to see them boys again.
Pretty chippy game last time out. What's the rivalry been like between those two teams?
I don't know. Since I've been here, we've been 2-0 against them. I got a chance to go 3-0, beat them 2 times in one season. So they get a little chippy, but we just go out there and do what we told to do, and do our job, and everything's gonna handle itself. So, football's only one in between the lines, and you gotta do your job. Everybody do their 1-11. So, this whole week we're gonna do a great job preparing for that, and this is the last game for a lot of our seniors. So, very looking forward to the last opportunity. We all got one more opportunity just to go out there and just play the best version of ourselves. So, excited to see that, and excited to see how the guys come out and compete. So.
Anything else? Thanks, Hank.
Go
Thanks,
Beavers.
Hank. Obviously getting the opportunity that you did at the end of that Tulsa game, what were the emotions like for you stepping out on the field and settling into the game the way you did?
It felt really good, honestly. I was able to represent well, not only for me but for my team and for my family. But I feel like a lot of people was asking me if I was nervous or something, but I feel like I don't know, it kind of just came natural to me. Just felt like I was meant to be in that spot at that time. So yeah, felt great.
For sure. And what drew you to Oregon State initially, being able to come here?
Well, honestly, when I have an older brother, and he went through the recruiting process as well. So when we visited here, I don't know, something about it just hit me well. Like, I've been wanting to come here since I was a kid. So when I was given the opportunity, I just wanted to take advantage of that.
And obviously been a challenging season. What's it been like for you, going through that as a young guy, just starting out here in college football?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the greatest situation, but just being around the guys has helped a lot. We've kept a persevering attitude. Just got to keep battling through and never give up. If you start something, you got to finish it. And that was just kind of something I was instilled with growing up.
I think it doesn't get talked enough about how difficult it is for, you know, a freshman to really get adjusted to the college level. You handled yourself really well in that first game, but obviously not enrolling early, showing up here in the summer. What's the process been like kind of over the last 6 months?
Well, when I first got here, I was determined to, I guess, just battle for that first spot. So I was studying every day, watching film, going over the playbook with my coaches or teammates. And then the process, it was like, I think it's kind of what you expect, like what people say it out to be. It's time consuming, but it's worth it. And I know everything happens for a reason, so it was definitely, I enjoyed the process.
The Tulsa game, you start out with what was going to be a horrendous negative play, and then you get a do-over on that. What's the emotion when you realize, you know, you're going to get a second chance at that? Did you feel like, did that help settle you down, or how did you respond to that?
Yeah, I know, like, I think another thing I was installed growing up by my parents, all my family, if you get knocked down 6 times, 7 times, come back up 8. So that play happening, it just, I think it's, like you said, it really helped me settle down. It's like, it's my time, like, I need to get going. It's like, I need to bounce back. I can't just let that keep me down.
What do you feel like was just really working for you during the Tulsa game that you felt like you've seen in practice that maybe we haven't seen?
I think you guys kind of asked Sai earlier, like, about me on scout. I think being in scout really helped me, like, with my pocket presence and just being patient in the pocket. So I think that was really going good for me during the Tulsa game.
Were you chopping them up on scout?
I believe I like to do. I believe so, yeah. For sure. But there are some days they would do good, but I feel most of the time I was getting them where I needed to.
Have you felt that sort of excitement that the fan base has had around how you performed in that game?
Yes, I felt some of it. I would go on Twitter and see a lot of the things, but I try not to let that get to my head because I know that can lead to some, like, me being overconfident or something. So try to leave that out and let me do my own thing.
Last game against the Cougars, a real low-scoring defensive battle. How do you see this game going, and what does this offense have to do to maybe have a little more success than it had the first game?
Well, this game, I'm trying to take full advantage of whether I play or not, and if I do, I'm going in with the mindset that I'm going to put up 100 points. I know, like, obviously that's impossible, but if you reach for the stars, even if you fall low, you'll still be in the sky. So I know going with a mindset like that, whether you drop low or not, it'll still end up good, like, because I know, like I said, everything happens for a reason. So I believe just us, I guess, playing hard, doing what we need to do fast and physical will get us in the right spot.
Who are the people that you've leaned on this year in terms of, you know, mentorship and, you know, trying to adjust to things?
Definitely my guys in the quarterback room, Malik, Jabari, Cal, they've helped a bunch. Then my coaches, Coach Gundy and Coach Langs, all of them helped me throughout this whole process. And then, like Sai said, him and a lot of the other Polynesian guys, we've connected really well. They helped, I guess, this transition be very smooth and very enjoyable.
Just looking back at that Washington State game, where were some areas you felt like the offense kind of struggled that you want to work to kind of improve this game?
I want us to be able to push the ball downfield more, just try and pick apart their defense so that we can also open up our run game to let Hankerson do his thing as well.
You know, growing up, did you have an inspiration as a quarterback, maybe, like a guy you looked up to, a guy you watched a lot of film on?
Well, actually, growing up, I was playing receiver in DB.
Okay.
And football wasn't my main sport, it was baseball and basketball. So when I first started getting into football, like real tackle football my freshman year, was when I went to quarterback. And I guess I felt like my game play mostly looked more so around like Patrick Mahomes. But something me and my dad was always talking about was more like a lot of Tom Brady, just because his mindset is like top of the game, and that's something we want to be able to like replicate as well.
What position you play on the baseball field?
I was shortstop.
You still think you can hack it out there? Or?
I can, yeah, I do think so.
Obviously a lot up in the air right now in terms of coaching change and different things that are going to happen. For you, what is that process going to look like in terms of your future? Is that a future conversation with whoever's hired here? What do you want your future to look like?
Yeah, so I definitely do want to stay here. So whether we get a new coach or not, I want to, however that future conversation looks out, I would want the chance just to be able to compete and stay here for that spot. And if everything happens in the way that I want it to, then I'll still be here. But if not, obviously I'll have to find a new spot. But hopefully everything ends up well.
For sure. You said you visited here when you were younger, and it seems like you're really committed to this place as a guy who's from out of state. What is it about Corvallis or Oregon State that has really made you want to put roots down?
I don't know. It's something about the culture here. It's just like made it feel like home for me. It's like a second home almost. Like all the people here, the facilities, the school. It's just like it's similar to the way my hometown was. So that's just what I really like.
Got a favorite place in town to eat?
I grew a good liking to Bow and Vine. Those burgers are actually really good.
With the receivers that you were working with the Scott team, is there anybody that you've developed a relationship with that you feel like you have a real chemistry and the timing is down?
I think one person that I was working with almost every day during fall camp was Eddie Freehoff. I think we've built a good chemistry just because every day after practice, he would ask me what I would ask him if we wanted to throw after. So I think that was one big relationship that we've grown.
Awesome.
Thanks, Tristan. Against this Washington State team, what did you guys kind of as a secondary take away from the first game, and what are you really looking to do in game two?
We know they have a lot of talented players on that side, and we're just going to try and do our best like we did before. And game plan hasn't really changed, just little change-ups and stuff like that to be able to go out there and execute again. But at the end of the day, we put something on display the first performance, so we got to go out there and do it again.
Just your thoughts on this Washington State offense and what they are capable of doing when, last game obviously was low scoring and tough, but, what they're capable of doing maybe if you're not careful.
Yeah, they have a talented quarterback back there, talented skill players, and offensive line's big. And like I said before, we just got to execute at the end of the day, and that's what we did the first opening game that we had with them. And we're just going to try and do that again and make more plays than we did at the end of the day. So just continue to build confidence throughout the week, and then on Saturday, then we just try to let it go.
What helped you kind of find that success in the first matchup with Washington State?
We were talking. I think that's the biggest thing is communication. So we're communicating the back end, and the whole defense was on fire for our work, and that's what we like to preach on the defensive side. So we were out there playing fast, and there were some mistakes, but we were making fast decisions, so we were able to cover it up on the back end as well.
What was your biggest takeaway kind of coming off that Tulsa game into the bye week that you wanted to really focus on heading into the final game?
Just focusing on it's been a hard season so far, and coming off the Tulsa game, just being thankful for being here, being thankful for being with our brothers. Bye week took a step back and actually looked at each other, looked at our seniors that it's going to be our last time going out there with them. Just being thankful. That's the biggest thing that I got from it. Being around my guys and being around my teammates that I'll probably be on the field the last time with them, those guys that are going out there, and just being thankful for being there as a team.
Coach Hickey spoke a lot about that yesterday. Really said it's a weird thing that it's going to be the last time that this group is all together. What does that kind of mean to you?
It's been a lot. A lot of the guys that transferred in, I came here as well. I built a lot of strong relationships here, and I love it here. And everybody that I've got an opportunity to meet here has changed my life, and just growing more as a human being, as a man of God as well, grown, and just going outside of football. That's been the biggest thing. So I'm gonna play my heart out this last game because I know those guys are gonna do the same for me, and just know the relationships I have with them is the biggest thing, and I'll put anything on the line for these guys.
And that guy in the back of the room, the young guy, seeing him do what he did in that Tulsa game, how exciting was that on the sideline?
Man, I got a close tie just because they're both Polynesian. So I'm always root for him regardless of what he does out there. Be his first critic if he does something bad, and I'm be his biggest fan if he steps out there and does what he needs to do. So that I know he's going to do as well. So and I'm going to be his biggest fan regardless of what happens. And I'm just proud of the person that he's becoming as this long journey, especially the way it's going right now. To go out there in Tulsa and do what he did, knowing the circumstances, that just shows his character as a young guy.
Obviously, he's been the third quarterback for a lot of the year. Was he dicing you guys up on scout team this year at all? Or?
I like to say that he got better just because he was going against us. So I think we helped him a lot, and he helped us a lot. So
Thanks, Zach.
thank you.
Thank you.